Okay, we're building the mount to put on the trailer, and I made my first cut. We're building this out of 1/4 inch steel. The winch is going to mount. I got it measured out, but then it's going to be, I'm going to cut a piece out of there, but this is 1/4 inch for my setup. This here, he'll come up, I'm going to cut a piece to come up to about here. That's going to be welded there. Stay there. And then this here will mount in front of that. I'll have to cut a hole, of course, to use that. But this is going to be basically what it is. I'm going to put a gusset here and on this side. Then I'm just going to drill holes to mount it to the trailer. Plus I'm going to run the bolts for the winch up through the floor also. So he'll have probably 8 bolts. I'm going to probably use grade 5 there, and they'll have 4 of the grade 8s going into the bottom of the winch to secure that. But that's basically what we're up to. And then, like I said, I'm going to take some more steel. I'm cutting everything out of that sheet, so I'm just trying to come up with pieces for my mock-up. But like I said, it'll just run here and here. And that's going to be our winch setup. I got to clean my cut up. Then I'll have to bring that piece up, measure what I need here. I got some black marker there. Oh well. I'll measure the height, because this is going to mount pretty much right on the ground. So then I'll measure for my hole, and then we'll get it welded together, and then start figuring out where we're going to put our bolt holes. And I'll have to bring the drill press down, and I'm going to probably set it up right here and do my drilling for that. But that's where we're at. And as we could go with the 9,000-pound winch, I feel that's more than enough to drag vehicles up on the trailer. Sorry, not right-handed, and it shows. Okay, this is the piece we're keeping, 6.5 inches. Clean up this side. Then we need to measure out for this, and then I'll cut the hole. I'm probably gonna cut up to here. I mean, I got plenty of room, so I could cut to the top. I'll have to figure that one out yet. But then this will get welded on that piece over there as the stand-up part, and that's where we're at. Okay, I'm not set up with high-tech tools. I mean, this is my workshop, and that's my heat. So, you don't need a high-tech shop. It would be nice, but, you know, it is what it is. So, all right, let me get this cleaned up and start marking out where my hole is. Once I get the hole cut here, then we'll bring it back in. I'm going to tack weld it, and so I can measure it, trace my holes out. Then I'm going to put it on here and start drilling holes. So, okay. All right, one thing I did do, I ground my bevel all the way across here. I know I'm cutting some of this center out, but when I was doing my cleanup, I cut the bevel out and I ground back on both sides for welding. And before I weld, I'll grind all the way across there where this plate's gonna go. I'll clean that up there, and then what I do, I'll set this out there, and before I weld this and put these parts together to weld, I wipe everything down just with acetone, because you can see it is a little rusty, so I ground it, but you know, you're touching it and all that, so you know, I guess that's personal choice. I just think wipe it down just to be safe. Now, all right, we didn't do nothing super high tech. We put that up, measured my previous measurements to make sure I had the winch where I wanted it. I laid this out there and I drew a line. So nothing high tech. Now what we're gonna do, this line is here, so we want to come in 2 inches. So I'm going to put that there. We're going to re-verify our 2 inches. Yeah, take a minute. I just don't want to be drawing a line and I'm not spot on. So there's our 2 inches in there. There's our 2 inches. Now I'm going to come halfway down this roller. So that's at 1 inch. I don't think my marker likes this out here in the cold. All right, so this is the piece we'll be cutting out. Right there. Then we'll be ready to these holes for drilling. Now, when you set this, just remember, use your lines, because if you bring it down, so this is flush here, you have this pin sticking out, and we'd be way below our line. So, set it up on your lines, then that way, when this is setting welded to this plate, that bushing isn't going to create an issue if you turn around, if my mounting it flush. So I'm going to mark these holes, and then I'm going to reset the winch, measure it out, and I'm going to get this tacked in place. And I'm losing light, so I'll probably call it a night and pick up sometime this weekend. So we're drilling these holes quick by hand. Don't be afraid to use cutting oil, liberal doses, because you're going to clean this up with acetone before you start welding. I hate these keyless chucks. To me, you just can't get a drill bit tight enough. Alright, that's going to be our first hole. I'm not going to continue stepping it up and filming it, but use some oil out there and it's going to help quite a bit. So, alright, that's where we're at. I'm going to finish drilling these out to this size bolt here. That's going to be come up to bolt this plate to this. I think I'm going to do this in two parts. I got them holes drilled. I got to do the last bit size, but I got to go get my 1/2-inch drill. And I'm going to do this. That way the video ain't super long, and I'll start welding it hopefully tomorrow. And I'll go and video that. Then I'll just be clean up and paint, which I probably ain't gonna video that. I'll just do the placement when put the winch and bring that paper out, drill my holes, and then I'll get this piece cleaned up from the oil and I'll get it welded on